about 2 hours late, so kind of a bummer, but finally on our way to the drift event. So the main issue of the day, and why I haven't really started filming until now, there's actually like a super big issue with the clutch. Me and Pat tried just about everything, and we were starting to lose hope, and what it turned out to be, the rod from the master that goes into the pedal didn't have a lock nut on it. I think Alberto cut it, and I think he probably didn't have a nut the right size to lock it in place. So it actually spun in, and it wasn't able to fully depress the clutch. So the reason why it was hard to shift is because that rod was backing out, and then the clutch wasn't fully engaging, which I started to realize when it was at stoplights, and I couldn't even put it into gear because the car would start rolling. After tackling that, Pat handled the toe. Pat, how was the toe in the rear? Was it all right, or?
It was over an inch out.
So if you like driving erratically and your car fishtailing all over the place when you're trying to go in a straight line, inch toe out would be the way to go.
Optimal.
Yep, that's actually, you know, funny fact, Pat, I'm sure you know this, but like, I was like, when I got the truck aligned, I like didn't think about the fact that you don't align the rear.
Oh yeah, it's just one.
It just is what it is.
Big stick in the back.
Yeah, I think we were aligning. I was like, oh yeah, did the rear get affected? Like, nope. That you don't align the. Yeah, you learn something new every day. So, and wait, does that mean a Mustang's the same too?
Not yours.
No, not mine, but like an older Mustang.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah, Camaros and Mustangs.
That's so like half the work to align those.
Yeah, well, like they have like weird like additional arms that like.
Oh.
I know nothing about it,
Yeah,
so I probably shouldn't talk about it.
I feel bad for anyone that has to ever drive a Mustang. Life must suck. Just kidding, I like Mustangs, kinda. They're alright. I kinda like them most of the time, actually. Alright, we're back to work. It's been so long, it feels so weird rolling up to the home track.
I haven't been here in a minute, since FD.
Dude, that's crazy. I'm so stoked to be here with my 32 and have my fancy neon lights and everything. Heck yeah. Alright, well the car almost just caught on fire. I'll elaborate in a second. Are we good, Pat?
Good.
Anything I should know?
Huh?
Anything I should know?
Just don't hit the grates.
You're supposed to say don't suck.
Oh. Oh yeah, don't suck.
Definitely a little bit. Rip. Definitely a little bit bummed, but Pat thankfully keeps reminding me that it is test day, and the whole point of this was to work out any kinks. First thing that we were having an issue with, I think I have a bad master or something. Before every lap we'd have to basically re-bleed the actual master up top, and then the clutch would work, but then it would stop working. Kind of annoying. And then some weird stuff's going on. I think ironically a lot of you guys were commenting that I need to get like a new cam trigger set up. I think the CAS is acting up a little bit because it's kind of all over the place. It almost sounds like I have anti-lag sometimes, and it's kind of running like junk. Jamie's doing his best to tune it, but I think without a proper trigger setup, I think we're kind of at a loss. And then like the LEDs, the terminal was loose on the battery, so they like caught on fire, and like my car almost exploded because there was an open flame next to the gas tanks. That was tight. And then Alberto's laptop died. I haven't been able to use my laptop because someone lost the cable to it, and his laptop died, so now we're kind of at a standstill, and I don't know that we can do much more, but testing day. That's how it goes. Definitely a bummer loading the car in the trailer without even going through a set of tires, but it is part of the game. I'd rather play safe than sorry and get off track before putting, you know, myself or the car or the engine in danger. Bummer, I didn't even go through 2 tires, but it is what it is. And this was a testing day. We found out a lot of things that need to be changed. So a couple things, I want to redo the cooling system. Those fans do not leak enough air. Kind of thought that would be the case, but it's confirmed. Idling, it would only just chill around like 190, 195 when I want to see those temps closer to 170 before I go out to do a run. Other than that, the tune's gonna need some dialing in. Like I said, I think I'm gonna get a new trigger set up, and then Jamie will just dial it in up in Connecticut. What else is going on with it? Everything like suspension wise felt good. Dash wise, like it's good. I don't know, so we're in decent shape. Just got some bugs to work out. Figured I'd carry this video again into the next day, mainly just because I haven't been able to like film that much, just because things have been kind of going wrong. But anyway, I drove this thing home last night, and it kind of reminded me how this car's original purpose was supposed to be what I'm doing with the R32 and bringing this up to Connecticut and having just a simple, reliable drift car. And driving it last night, I was like, dang, I could literally raise this car 2 inches and it would probably be a better drift car than the R32 just because it's so simple, makes so much power. I mean, not a ton, like maybe like 350, but perfect amount to drift, like super, super solid drivetrain. This car is good. I love it. I wish it wasn't so pretty so I wouldn't be like so guilty driving it. I just don't want to like crash it. And I know if I drift it, you guys know if I drift this, it's gonna look like my missile from Japan and I want to smash it up. It's so clean. Literally the cleanest JZX I've ever seen. So funny story, I'm trying to figure out how to change the CD in this car because I lost the aux cord. And I figured out that it actually has like a DVD player for the navigation software. So that whole unit's just for nav. I was trying to put a CD in there and then I realized that's what it was. And then I found out, check this out. This car is so cool. You press open on the factory head unit and it tilts back. And then that's how you remove the CD. It even has a tape player. So this car has had a, I think it's 21 Pilots CD in it. It's getting pretty old, so I've got one of my favorite 311 CDs that I used to listen to a lot when I was a kid that I'm swapping it out for. We're gonna jam. That's so cool. One big issue we were having with the S15 was getting trans parts because not a lot of people run Samsonite around here. So having an extra, you know, like gear set or something would be really nice. But the time to rebuild it and stuff, especially when you're at the track, it's always convenient to have a spare. So wouldn't you know, look what came in the mail. We've got ourselves a spare sequential trans for the S15. How tight is that? So now if we have any issues, rather than having to wait on parts and possibly miss around, we've got a spare trans. So if we have any issue with the gears, we can just pop that one in and then wait for parts to rebuild our spare. So who knows, maybe there'll be a day that that'll wind up in another car. I love to have like a Samsonite in my R32 or maybe the yellow Evo, but we'll see. Anyway, that's one exciting thing. I don't know if it'll be sold by the time that it's on my story, but if any of you guys want the package that used to be on my RB with the exhaust manifold, wastegates, dump tubes, intake manifold, and this is like a rad, this is ceramic coated, and this is like a billet collector from Raw Brokerage, as well as their sick intake manifold. It's for sale. So I don't know whatever price I posted on my story, but look at my Instagram story. To try to address the clutch issue, Alberto got a couple different masters. I think that that's the source of the problem. I'm not sure, but hopefully, because that is probably the easiest fix. So he's gonna be tackling that. And then tomorrow's video, we're gonna do some truck mods. So one of the reasons why I wanted it down from Connecticut is because I got a bunch of fun parts to put on it. So the truck's gonna be even cooler than it already is. So we've just been clearing out the shop and making some room for that. So just wanna give you guys a heads up that that's what you can look forward to tomorrow. So anyway, thank you guys, and fingers crossed we can get this thing back together in time. Also looks like I should probably bring it over to Phillips for an alignment. See how far forward that wheel is? It's a big old yikes. But anyway, thank you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.